It was a quiet afternoon in the rolling countryside of Maple Creek Village, a place where time seemed to move slower than the rest of the world. Golden leaves drifted through the air as the sun painted the fields in shades of amber. A single father named Ethan Walker, a retired U.S. Army veteran, was tightening the straps on his young son's backpack near their small wooden porch. His son, Jake, was only 9, curious, cheerful, and the only family Ethan had left after his wife's passing 3 years ago. Ethan had served 2 tours overseas, but now his battles were quieter, repairing old fences, mowing the village park, and finding peace in small moments with his boy. That afternoon, as he started his truck to head toward the old Miller Bridge, his radio crackled with the local news. Breaking update. 4 search helicopters have returned to base after failing to locate a missing 8-year-old girl named Lily Henderson, who disappeared this morning near the forest trail. Local authorities ask all residents to remain alert. Ethan's hands froze on the steering wheel. He'd heard about the missing child earlier that day, a small girl who'd gone for a bike ride and never returned. The village had been tense. Families gathered, rescue teams combed the woods, and helicopters searched for hours. He looked toward Jake, who sat quietly in the passenger seat. "Dad," Jake said softly, "do you think she's scared?" Ethan's voice lowered. "If she's out there, son, then she's cold and afraid. But we can't lose hope." The soft piano fades into a low hum of wind. The sound of an engine starting blends with distant helicopter echoes fading away. As he drove down the narrow dirt road past cornfields and silver ponds, Ethan's mind returned to his training, the old instincts, the way a soldier listens to the earth. He slowed near a curve where the tall grass met the forest line. And then, something faint, a reflection. He stopped the truck, stepped out, and listened. Nothing but the wind and crickets. Yet something in him, a veteran's instinct, told him to walk toward the old trail. Camera panned slowly through tall grass. The sound of boots crunching leaves. There, half hidden behind a fallen oak, was a small pink bicycle, its wheels still turning slightly. Music swells softly, gentle percussion joins the piano. Ethan knelt beside the bicycle. Mud splattered across the frame, a small ribbon hung from the handlebar. "Lily," he whispered. He radioed the sheriff's department, but reception was weak in this valley. His eyes scanned the horizon. No sign of the girl. Only the soft ripple of a nearby creek and the shadow of the forest beyond. He looked at Jake, who'd followed quietly from the truck. "Stay close to me, buddy," Ethan said. "We're not going deep, but we'll look around." They followed faint tire tracks that led toward the woods. The air grew cooler, and beams of light flickered through the trees. Jake picked up a small shoeprint near the moss. "Dad, look. She came this way." Ethan smiled faintly. "Good eye, soldier." They pressed forward carefully, calling her name every few steps. "Lily, Lily, can you hear me?" A crow's call echoed back. Then silence. Wind grows stronger. Leaves rustle. Distant thunder rolls. Ethan's thoughts drifted to his days in uniform, the rescues, the times when fear and hope collided. He'd promised himself he was done with those missions, but something about this felt different. This wasn't duty. This was human. Suddenly, a faint sound reached his ear, not an echo, but a small cry. He froze. "Jake, quiet." There it was again. A whimper, weak and trembling. He followed the sound to a small slope by the creek. The mud was slick, the ground uneven. Beneath a patch of brush, he saw movement, a flash of pink. He rushed forward, heart pounding. There she was, Lily Henderson, curled up beside a tree, her small arms clutching her scraped knee, her hair tangled with leaves. Her lips quivered. I fell. I couldn't climb back up." Ethan knelt beside her gently, his voice soft as the music faded into silence. "You're safe now, sweetheart. We've got you." Jake knelt next to her, handing his jacket without a word. Lily looked at him, eyes wide. "The helicopters, they didn't see me." Ethan smiled through the tears forming in his eyes. "Sometimes, the sky misses what the heart can find." He carried her in his arms back through the woods, one careful step at a time. The path was long, but he moved with quiet strength. Sound. Footsteps through water, soft breathing, the distant hum of an approaching rescue vehicle. When they reached the main road, the sheriff's car pulled up, lights flashing against the falling dusk. The officers jumped out in disbelief. "You found her." After 4 choppers failed, one deputy said, stunned. Ethan simply nodded. She was never far. She just needed someone to listen close enough. The moment Lily was handed safely to her tearful mother, the whole village seemed to exhale. Soft piano returns with light strings, hopeful, warm. That night, the village gathered at the town park. Lanterns glowed, children laughed, and Lily's mother embraced Ethan with trembling gratitude. "Sir, I don't know how to thank you," she said. "You did what trained pilots couldn't." Ethan shook his head gently. "Ma'am, sometimes it's not about skill. It's about heart, and never giving up when someone needs you." Reporters arrived, but Ethan avoided the spotlight. He stood near the wooden fence watching the sunset. Jake leaned on his arm, smiling quietly. "Dad," he whispered, "Mom would have been proud of you." Ethan's eyes glistened as the wind carried the scent of fresh rain. "I hope so, son. But today wasn't about me. It was about kindness, about showing up when it matters." Music softens, piano, light guitar strings, and a gentle choir hum. In the days that followed, the story of the single dad veteran who found a girl on a bike spread across the state. Local papers called it a miracle, but to Ethan, it was simply another reminder that small acts, a moment of listening, a step off the main road, could change lives. He never sought recognition. Instead, he fixed Lily's bike himself, cleaned the mud from its wheels, and returned it to her family. When she saw it, she hugged him tightly. "Thank you, Mr. Ethan," she said softly. "You heard me when nobody else could." Ethan smiled. Sometimes the heart has better hearing than helicopters. Sound cue. Laughter of children, wind through trees, a dog barking in the distance. Soft background piano continues. Narrator's tone becomes warm and heartfelt. There are moments in life when kindness doesn't roar, it whispers. Sometimes, it's not the loudest searchlights that save us, but a quiet heart that refuses to stop believing. Ethan Walker, a man who'd lost much, found meaning again through a single act of compassion. In helping one little girl, he reminded an entire village, and perhaps all of us, that hope isn't something we search for in the sky, it's something we carry inside. Soft music rises. Camera pans to a golden sunrise over the village hills. Dear viewers, if this story touched your heart, please take a moment to comment below and share what kindness means to you. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel, Kindness Quest, where every story reminds us that goodness still lives quietly in everyday hearts. Soft piano fades out with a gentle breeze. Screen fades to black.